Have movies been quietly telling us the truth about society, while audiences were distracted by the controversy surrounding them? Behind the scandal, shocking relationships, and dangerous obsessions, these films expose something far more disturbing. They reveal greed, manipulation, loneliness, corruption, and the emotional damage people hide behind polished appearances. From Hollywood dreamers to ruthless criminals, this countdown explores 20 provocative movies that pull back the curtain and expose the dark face of reality. Number 20. Cruel Intentions, 1999. Beneath the polished image of wealth and privilege, hides one of the coldest portraits of manipulation ever placed on screen. Cruel Intentions follows two wealthy step-siblings who view human emotions as pieces on a chessboard. Their lives revolve around control, reputation, and the thrill of proving they can outsmart everyone around them. What begins as a reckless challenge soon grows into something far more destructive. The film works because it exposes how power can distort morality. These characters have money, influence, and endless opportunities, yet they remain deeply dissatisfied. Instead of building meaningful relationships, they create elaborate schemes that leave emotional wreckage behind. Every conversation feels loaded with hidden motives. Every smile conceals another agenda. As the story progresses, the glamorous setting slowly loses its shine. Expensive schools, luxury apartments, and elite social circles become stages for betrayal and selfish ambition. The movie reveals a truth that remains relevant decades later. Wealth cannot protect people from the consequences of cruelty. In many cases, it simply gives them more freedom to cause damage before reality finally catches up with them. Number 19. Body Heat, 1981. Picture a town trapped beneath a relentless heat wave, where every decision feels clouded by exhaustion and temptation. That oppressive atmosphere becomes the perfect backdrop for Body Heat. At its center is a small-town lawyer who believes he has discovered an exciting path toward a better life. Instead, he finds himself pulled into a dangerous situation built on deception and false promises. Unlike traditional crime films, this story focuses on human weakness rather than violence. The central character is not forced into trouble. He walks toward it willingly. His confidence convinces him that he understands the situation, when in reality, he is being guided exactly where someone else wants him to go. That gradual loss of control creates constant tension. What makes the film memorable is its honesty about obsession. Intelligent people can make terrible decisions when desire clouds judgment. Ambition can become a blindfold. Pride can become a trap. As the mystery unfolds, viewers witness how easily a person can destroy everything by chasing an illusion. Body Heat exposes the dark reality that sometimes our greatest downfall begins with a choice we gladly make ourselves. Number 18. Swimming Pool, 2003. Far from crowded cities and noisy distractions, a successful writer retreats to a quiet countryside home, hoping to finish her latest novel. Then an unexpected young visitor arrives and transforms the atmosphere completely. What follows is not a conventional thriller, but a fascinating study of jealousy, imagination, and emotional conflict. The film slowly draws viewers into a world where certainty becomes impossible. The writer grows increasingly fascinated by the younger woman's unpredictable behavior. That fascination soon develops into obsession. Every interaction seems charged with hidden meaning. Every conversation leaves room for doubt. The audience is constantly forced to question whether events are truly happening or taking shape inside a creative mind, searching for inspiration. Rather than relying on action or shocking surprises, the movie builds suspense through psychological tension. It explores loneliness beneath professional success and reveals how dissatisfaction can distort perception. The beautiful surroundings become increasingly unsettling as the story progresses. By the conclusion, viewers are left questioning everything they have seen. Swimming Pool succeeds because it exposes a troubling reality. The most dangerous fantasies are often the ones we create for ourselves. Number 17. Secretary, 2002. Rather than presenting a conventional romance, this film dives into the complicated emotional struggles that many people hide from the world. Secretary follows a young woman attempting to rebuild her life after years of personal turmoil. When she begins working for a demanding attorney, she discovers a relationship that challenges her understanding of trust, confidence, and self-worth. What makes the movie stand out is its refusal to judge its characters. Instead, it focuses on their emotional needs and vulnerabilities. Both individuals carry invisible scars. Both struggle to communicate honestly. Their connection develops through unusual circumstances, yet the heart of the story remains deeply human. As the relationship evolves, the film explores themes of loneliness, acceptance, and personal growth. The characters gradually learn that understanding another person requires patience and honesty rather than control. Every awkward interaction reveals another layer of emotional complexity. Beneath its controversial reputation lies a surprisingly thoughtful examination of identity and belonging. Secretary exposes a reality often ignored by mainstream cinema. Many people spend years hiding who they truly are because they fear rejection. The film argues that genuine acceptance begins only when those fears are finally confronted. Number 16. Belle de Jour, 1967. Few films blur the line between fantasy and reality as effectively as Belle de Jour. Directed by Luis Buñuel, this remarkable story follows a wealthy Parisian housewife whose outwardly perfect life conceals deep dissatisfaction. While maintaining her respectable image, she secretly pursues experiences that challenge the strict expectations placed upon her by society. The film unfolds like a dream that refuses to explain itself. Scenes shift between reality, imagination, and desire, with little warning. Viewers are left wondering which moments are genuine and which exist only within the character's mind. That uncertainty becomes one of the movie's greatest strengths. Rather than focusing on scandal, the story examines the conflict between public identity and private longing. The central character struggles with expectations imposed by family marriage and social status. Her choices become a form of rebellion against a world that demands conformity. Decades after its release, Belle de Jour remains powerful because its themes are timeless. Many people present one version of themselves to society while hiding another beneath the surface. The film exposes that uncomfortable truth with elegance, intelligence, and surprising emotional depth, making it one of cinema's most enduring psychological dramas. Number 15. Love Lies Bleeding, 2024. Arriving with the force of a modern noir thriller, Love Lies Bleeding throws viewers into a world where ambition, attraction, and violence collide. Set against a gritty backdrop of crime and desperation, the story follows a reclusive gym manager whose life changes after meeting an ambitious traveler, determined to achieve greatness at any cost. From the beginning, there is a sense of danger hanging over every scene. The characters are driven by powerful emotions and even stronger ambitions. As their connection deepens, they find themselves pulled into increasingly risky situations. Small decisions trigger consequences that spiral beyond anyone's control. What separates this film from ordinary thrillers is its willingness to explore the darker side of devotion. Characters convince themselves they are acting out of loyalty while creating chaos around them. Good intentions become tangled with selfish desires. Dreams gradually transform into obsessions. The movie also offers a harsh look at the pursuit of success. It suggests that ambition without limits can consume everything in its path. Relationships become strained. Morality becomes negotiable. Reality becomes difficult to recognize. By the final act, Love Lies Bleeding delivers a powerful message about the destructive consequences of chasing fulfillment without considering the price. Number 14. The Last Seduction, 1994. Some films introduce a dangerous character. The Last Seduction builds an entire story around one. From her very first appearance, Bridget Gregory proves she is smarter, faster, and more ruthless than almost everyone around her. After escaping with a large sum of money, she arrives in a small town where she immediately begins manipulating the people she meets. What makes this movie so effective is the way it overturns audience expectations. Most crime thrillers eventually punish characters who embrace deception. Here the tension comes from wondering whether anyone can actually outplay the central figure. Every conversation becomes a calculated move. Every relationship serves a purpose. The film also exposes how greed blinds people to obvious warning signs. Characters convince themselves they are in control, while unknowingly becoming pieces in someone else's strategy. That psychological game creates constant suspense. Beneath the crime plot lies a darker observation about human nature. Many people willingly ignore the truth when it benefits them. The Last Seduction explores that uncomfortable reality with remarkable confidence. Decades later, it remains one of the sharpest studies of manipulation ever committed to film. Number 13. Bound, 1996. Before becoming famous for redefining science fiction, the Wachowskis delivered one of the smartest crime thrillers of the 1990s. Bound begins with what appears to be a simple plan. Two women decide to steal money from a violent criminal organization and disappear before anyone realizes what happened. Naturally, nothing goes according to plan. The brilliance of the movie lies in its precision. Every detail matters. Every decision creates new complications. The story unfolds like a carefully constructed puzzle, where trust becomes the most valuable currency. One mistake could destroy everything. Unlike many thrillers that rely on non-stop action, Bound generates suspense through intelligence. The characters survive by thinking faster than their opponents. Their greatest weapon is not strength, it is strategy. Watching them navigate an increasingly dangerous situation becomes completely absorbing. At its core, the film examines loyalty in a world built on betrayal. Nearly every character has hidden motives. Nearly everyone is willing to deceive someone else for personal gain. Bound exposes a harsh reality about criminal ambition. The more valuable the prize becomes, the fewer people can be trusted. That tension keeps the story gripping until its final moments. Number 12. Boogie Nights, 1997. At first glance, Boogie Nights looks like a celebration of fame, excess, and opportunity. Set during the entertainment boom of the late 1970s, it follows a young man who rises from obscurity to become a major star within a rapidly growing industry. Success arrives quickly. Wealth follows. Recognition seems endless. Then reality begins to emerge. Director Paul Thomas Anderson uses the story to reveal what happens when an entire culture becomes obsessed with image and instant gratification. The glamorous lifestyle gradually exposes its hidden costs. Friendships become fragile. Ambition turns destructive. Personal struggles that once seemed manageable begin spiraling out of control. One of the film's greatest strengths is its compassion. Even deeply flawed characters feel human. They chase happiness in the only ways they understand. Unfortunately, many discover that success cannot fix loneliness, insecurity, or emotional pain. As the years pass, the industry changes, and so do the people trapped inside it. Dreams fade, relationships collapse, opportunities disappear. Boogie Nights becomes far more than a story about fame. It exposes the dark reality behind celebrity culture and reminds viewers that public success often hides private heartbreak. Number 11. Black Swan, 2010. Not every horror story involves monsters. Sometimes the most terrifying enemy exists inside the human mind. Black Swan follows Nina Sayers, a dedicated ballet performer whose pursuit of perfection pushes her toward a psychological breaking point. When an opportunity arises to secure the most important role of her career, she becomes consumed by the pressure to prove herself worthy. What makes the film so unsettling is its portrayal of obsession. Nina believes success demands complete sacrifice. Every rehearsal becomes a test. Every mistake feels catastrophic. As expectations grow, her grip on reality begins to weaken. The line between imagination and truth becomes increasingly difficult to identify. Director Darren Aronofsky creates an atmosphere filled with paranoia, anxiety, and emotional isolation. Even ordinary moments carry a sense of unease. The audience experiences the world through Nina's deteriorating perspective, which makes every scene feel unpredictable. Beneath its psychological thrills lies a powerful commentary on ambition. Black Swan exposes the dark reality of environments where perfection is valued above personal well-being. It demonstrates how relentless pressure can transform dreams into nightmares and achievement into self-destruction. Number 10. We Tu Mama Tambien, 2001. A road trip usually promises freedom, adventure, and unforgettable memories. Y Tu Mama Tambien begins exactly that way. Two teenage friends embark on a spontaneous journey across Mexico, accompanied by an older woman whose presence transforms what seems like a carefree escape into something far more meaningful. What starts as a search for excitement slowly evolves into a confrontation with reality itself. Director Alfonso Cuarón uses the journey to reveal the differences between fantasy and adulthood. The young travelers believe the world revolves around their desires and ambitions. Along the road, they encounter truths that challenge those assumptions. Social inequality, political tension, and personal loss quietly emerge beneath the surface of the story. The film excels because it never lectures its audience. Instead, it allows small moments and unexpected encounters to reveal larger realities. The breathtaking landscapes contrast sharply with the hardships faced by many people living within them. Every stop along the journey adds emotional weight to the narrative. By the final act, the carefree atmosphere has largely disappeared. The characters understand more about themselves and about life than they ever expected. Y Tu Mama Tambien remains unforgettable because it exposes the painful truth that innocence often vanishes long before people are prepared to lose it. Number 9. Blue Valentine, 2010. Most romantic dramas focus on how relationships begin. Blue Valentine dares to examine what happens after the excitement fades. The film follows Dean and Cindy as their marriage struggles under the weight of disappointment, frustration, and years of unresolved conflict. Through a series of shifting timelines, viewers witness both the hopeful beginning of their relationship and the painful reality of where it eventually leads. What makes the movie so powerful is its honesty. Neither character is portrayed as completely right or completely wrong. Both carry dreams that gradually collide with everyday responsibilities. Their love once felt unstoppable, Over time, misunderstandings and emotional distance create cracks that continue to grow. Rather than relying on dramatic twists, the story finds its strength in ordinary moments. Small arguments reveal deeper frustrations. Simple conversations expose years of unspoken feelings. The emotional realism makes the film remarkably difficult to forget. Blue Valentine exposes a reality rarely shown with such sincerity. Love alone does not guarantee a lasting relationship. Effort, communication, and mutual understanding matter just as much. The film offers a heartbreaking reminder that two people can genuinely care for one another and still struggle to remain together. Number 8. Mulholland Drive, 2001. Welcome to Hollywood, where dreams are manufactured every day and destroyed just as quickly. Mulholland Drive begins like a mystery. A young aspiring actress arrives in Los Angeles and becomes involved with an amnesiac woman who cannot remember her identity. Together they search for answers. The deeper they dig, the stranger the world becomes. Director David Lynch turns the city into a maze of illusions. Success appears within reach, yet always seems to slip away. Every character feels trapped between fantasy and reality. Conversations carry hidden meanings. Events unfold in ways that challenge logic. What initially resembles a detective story gradually transforms into something far more haunting. Beneath the surreal imagery lies a devastating examination of ambition. Hollywood promises opportunity, but often delivers disappointment. People arrive hoping to reinvent themselves only to discover a system that rewards a fortunate few, while discarding countless others. The Dream Factory becomes a place where identity can be lost completely. What makes the film unforgettable is its emotional core. Behind the mysteries and symbolism is a tragic story about desire, failure, and shattered expectations. Mulholland Drive exposes the dark face of reality by revealing how dangerous unchecked ambition can become when dreams are allowed to replace truth. Long after the credits end, its haunting questions remain impossible to ignore. Number 7. Passages, 2023. Some relationships end quietly. Others collapse like a building whose foundation has been weakening for years. Passages centers on a talented filmmaker whose impulsive decisions create emotional chaos for everyone around him. After becoming involved with someone new, he finds himself trapped between competing desires, while those closest to him struggle to understand his actions. The film refuses to offer easy heroes or villains. Instead, it presents deeply flawed people attempting to navigate complicated emotions. Every decision feels believable because it grows from recognizable human weaknesses. Pride, insecurity, loneliness, and selfishness influence nearly every interaction. The result is a story that feels uncomfortably authentic. Director Ira Sachs avoids melodrama and focuses on emotional consequences. Characters are forced to confront the damage caused by their choices. Relationships become strained. Trust erodes. Conversations that begin calmly often reveal years of unresolved frustration beneath the surface. What elevates Passages beyond a typical relationship drama is its honesty. Many films simplify human behavior into clear categories of right and wrong. This one acknowledges that people often hurt those they care about while searching for happiness. The movie exposes a difficult reality. Personal freedom sounds appealing until someone else must carry the cost. That uncomfortable truth gives the story its lasting power. Number 6. The Handmaiden, 2016. Set during the Japanese occupation of Korea, The Handmaiden begins as an elaborate scheme involving deception, wealth, and hidden agendas. A young pickpocket is recruited to assist a con artist in targeting a wealthy heiress. The plan appears straightforward. Once she enters the household, however, unexpected loyalties begin to emerge, and the entire story changes direction. Director Park Chan-wook constructs the narrative with remarkable precision. Every revelation forces viewers to reevaluate what they previously believed. Characters who seem trustworthy conceal secrets. Those who appear powerless possess unexpected strength. The shifting perspectives create constant suspense. Beyond its intricate plot, the film offers a sharp critique of social hierarchies. Wealth grants influence. Gender expectations create limitations. Authority is frequently abused by those determined to maintain control. The characters must navigate a world designed to exploit them, while searching for a path toward freedom. What makes The Handmaiden particularly effective is the way it combines personal drama with broader social commentary. The struggle for independence becomes just as important as the mystery itself. As hidden truths emerge, the film exposes the dark reality of manipulation and oppression operating behind elegant appearances. By the conclusion, viewers are left with a powerful reminder that the most dangerous prisons are often the ones built by society, rather than walls. Number 5. Brokeback Mountain, 2005. Against the vast landscapes of Wyoming, two young ranch workers accept a seasonal job that appears ordinary at first. What follows becomes one of the most emotionally powerful stories ever filmed. Brokeback Mountain traces the lives of Ennis Del Mar and Jack Twist across many years, as they struggle with feelings they cannot openly express in the world around them. The strength of the film comes from its realism. Neither man is presented as a larger-than-life figure. They are ordinary people, attempting to survive within a culture that leaves little room for vulnerability. As the years pass, they build separate lives, yet remain connected by memories neither can forget. Director Ang Lee focuses on silence as much as dialogue. A glance often communicates more than a speech. Unspoken emotions shape every major decision. The result is a story filled with longing, regret, and missed opportunities. Beyond the personal drama the movie exposes, a darker social reality. Fear of judgment can force people to suppress their true selves for decades. Communities that value conformity often create invisible prisons for those who do not fit expected roles. Brokeback Mountain remains unforgettable because it reveals the emotional cost of living according to someone else's rules instead of your own truth. Number 4, Titane, 2021. Few modern films challenge audiences as aggressively as Titane. At first, it appears to be a shocking thriller filled with bizarre events and disturbing imagery. Beneath that surface, however, lies a surprisingly emotional story about identity, belonging, and the desperate need for human connection. The central character spends much of the film attempting to escape both society and personal responsibility. Constantly reinventing herself, she moves through a world where trust is almost impossible to find. Violence follows her path. Isolation shapes her decisions. Every attempt to create distance from others only deepens her loneliness. Director Julia Ducournau deliberately pushes viewers outside their comfort zones. Strange imagery and unexpected narrative turns force the audience to abandon traditional expectations. Yet the emotional core remains remarkably human. The story examines how damaged individuals search for acceptance, even when they believe they no longer deserve it. What makes Titane fit this countdown is its willingness to expose uncomfortable truths about alienation. Many people hide behind carefully constructed identities because they fear rejection. Others become so disconnected from society that genuine connection feels impossible. Through its unconventional storytelling, the film reveals a reality that is often ignored. Beneath even the most extreme behavior, there is frequently a longing to be understood. That emotional honesty gives the movie its surprising power. Number 3. Moonlight, 2016. Rather than telling one continuous story, Moonlight presents 3 defining chapters from the life of a young man named Chiron. Each chapter captures a different stage of his development, while revealing the challenges he faces growing up in a difficult environment. Together, these moments create one of the most intimate character studies of the 21st century. The film excels because it focuses on experiences rarely explored with such care. Chiron struggles with poverty, bullying, loneliness, and uncertainty about his place in the world. At every stage of life, he searches for guidance while attempting to understand who he truly is. The people around him influence that journey in ways both positive and painful. Director Barry Jenkins brings extraordinary sensitivity to the material. Quiet moments carry tremendous emotional weight. A simple conversation can alter the course of a life. The visual style transforms ordinary settings into deeply personal spaces filled with meaning. Moonlight exposes the dark face of reality by examining how social pressures shape identity. Many individuals learn to hide parts of themselves simply to survive. Vulnerability becomes dangerous. Authenticity feels risky. Yet the film also offers hope. Even in difficult circumstances, moments of understanding can change everything. That balance between hardship and humanity makes Moonlight one of the most powerful films of its generation. Number 2. Blue is the Warmest Color, 2013. Every generation produces a coming-of-age story that feels unusually honest. Blue is the Warmest Color became one of those films because it refuses to simplify the emotional turbulence of growing up. The story follows Adele as she moves through adolescence and early adulthood while trying to understand her ambitions, relationships, and place in the world. What separates the film from conventional dramas is its commitment to emotional realism. Life-changing moments rarely arrive with dramatic announcements. Instead, they emerge through ordinary conversations, unexpected encounters, and decisions that seem small at the time. The audience watches Adele evolve as experience gradually reshapes her understanding of happiness. Director Abdelatif Kechiche focuses intensely on everyday details. Meals, conversations, classroom discussions, and quiet moments receive as much attention as major turning points. This approach creates a sense of authenticity that makes the emotional highs and lows feel remarkably personal. Beneath the relationship drama lies a broader examination of identity and self-discovery. The film exposes the reality that personal growth is often painful. Dreams change, priorities shift. People who once seemed essential sometimes become distant memories. Blue is the warmest color resonates because it captures the uncomfortable truth that becoming yourself often requires letting go of who you once believed you would be. Number 1. The Cook the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover, 1989. If this countdown has a film that fully deserves the phrase, dark face of reality, it is The Cook the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover. Directed by Peter Greenaway, this unforgettable drama takes place largely inside an extravagant restaurant, owned by a brutal criminal whose cruelty poisons everyone around him. Behind the luxurious setting lies a world defined by greed, intimidation, and abuse of power. From the opening scenes, the film creates an atmosphere of discomfort. The criminal at the center of the story believes wealth grants him complete authority over others. He humiliates employees, terrorizes associates, and treats human dignity as something disposable. His behavior transforms the restaurant into a symbol of corruption, hidden beneath elegance. What makes the movie extraordinary is its layered social commentary. Greenaway uses the characters to explore class division, unchecked power, and moral decay. The lavish surroundings become a mask covering ugliness beneath the surface. Expensive food, beautiful architecture, and refined appearances cannot conceal the cruelty taking place behind closed doors. As the story progresses, the consequences become increasingly severe. Acts of selfishness create suffering that spreads through every corner of the narrative. By the final moments, the film delivers a shocking conclusion that feels both tragic and inevitable. The Cook the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover earns the top position because it exposes how greed and power can corrupt not only individuals but entire environments. Those were 20 salacious movies that dared to look beyond fantasy and expose uncomfortable truths about human nature. Which film shocked you the most, and which one deserved a higher ranking? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more movie lists that reveal the hidden side of cinema.